Hello, dear students. Welcome back to the session. So, we were discussing about the module 5, the lubrication and bearing. So, in the previous session, we have come across what is lubricant, what is lubrication, and what are the different lubricants, and what are the requirements of a good lubricant, and uh, so on, and also hydrodynamic mechanism or the principle of hydrodynamic theory or hydrodynamic mechanism that we have discussed in the previous session. Now let us proceed with the next part. So there in the previous session we have come across different types of bearings also. So mainly we are dealing here in this particular chapter say journal bearing, that is hydrodynamic bearing. So related to that, there are some terms that also we have to see here. Say for example, if I consider a journal bearing, say is this is a bearing that is a stationary member, and there is a another element which is supported by this, and that is rotating within this particular element. So this is the center of the bearing, and this is the center of the shaft. Say this is O dash and this is O, and this is bearing, and this one is journal at the shaft. So this is the area where the liquid lubricant, that is, or the lubricant is filled in. Now, the first term is diametral clearance. So that is what represented here as the CD. The rotation is CD. So this is the difference between the diameter of the journal and the shaft diameter. So the diameter of the journal, that is small d, which is represented here as small d, and the diameter of the uh, bearing, the diameter of the bearing is represented with the notation capital D. So the difference between these two, capital D minus small d, is diametral clearance denoted by CD. So capital D is diameter of bearing and small d is the diameter of the journal. Now the next term is radial clearance. Radial clearance is the difference between the radius of the bearing and radius of the journal or the shaft. Now that is not denoted by means of the notation C. So this is the notation which is required for us while designing the bearing. So which is also defined as half of the diametral clearance, CD by 2, or capital D minus small d divided by 2. So this is another equation for the representation of radial clearance C. And next, radial clearance ratio. So radial clearance ratio is defined as the radial clearance divided by the radius of the journal, or the it is ratio of radial clearance to the radial radius of the journal, that is C by R. C by R. So this is what we to consider while designing the bearing as one of the important parameter. So radial clearance divided by radius of the journal is called as uh, radial clearance ratio. So that is what the difference between the radius of the bearing and the radius of the journal. So that we can represent here with the notation small c. So if I consider both sides or both particular areas or both the gaps here, so then that will be CD. So then the particular CD is capital D minus small d, what we have discussed earlier. So this is what the ratio of radial clearance to the radius of the shaft is called as radial clearance ratio. This is another important parameter. Next comes here the eccentricity. This is another important parameter or a term which is required here while designing the bearing. So the eccentricity is denoted by means of the notation E, and which is the distance between the center of the bearing and center of the shaft. So denoted by means of the notation E. So this distance between the centers, the distance between the centers is called as eccentricity. The distance between the centers is called as eccentricity. This is the radial distance between the center of the bearing and center of the shaft, which is going to displace when the bearing is loaded. So you can refer this figure. So this is related to what the eccentricity. Eccentricity is the distance between the centers of the bearing and the shaft or the journal. So this is next important term. And next one is minimum film oil thickness, so which is denoted by means of H naught. So this is the notation what we use in our data handbook also. So this is the minimum film thickness which is resulted during the rotation of the shaft inside the bearing. Say when the loading that is taken place, or when the bearing is loaded and the shaft is rotating inside the bearing, so because of that rotational speed, there is a gap which is produced in between the bearing as well as the shaft. The small gap which is resulted here, that gap is called as minimum film thickness. So there are two thicknesses that are resulted here. The film thickness is nothing but the layer which is resulted in between the shaft and the bearing. So this is the criteria to determine whether the bearing operates satisfactory or not, is a function of minimum oil film thickness. So minimum distance between the bearing and the journal under the complete lubrication condition is, so as to prevent the metal to metal contact, is called as minimum film thickness. So this is another important term. So to determine this also, we have to carry out some of the important steps. The next important thing is, so here another thing that we have to consider is minimum film thickness variable. So minimum film thickness variables is the ratio of minimum film thickness to the radial clearance. So this is another term here, including the minimum film thickness. Minimum film thickness divided by the radial clearance is called as minimum film thickness variable. Minimum film thickness variable. So this is one of the important parameter, which is the distance between the, or the minimum distance between the journal and the bearing, to form the complete lubrication and avoiding the metal to metal contact. So the next term is eccentricity ratio or attitude. Eccentricity ratio or attitude. So which is the ratio of eccentricity to the clearance. Eccentricity to the clearance. So this is also represented as cos theta, or this is also represented as 1 minus h naught by c. So this is eccentricity ratio or attitude. So this is also an important parameter while designing the bearing. So the next thing is to discuss about the significance of the bearing characteristic number. So while designing the bearing, the coefficient of friction that plays an important role here, and which is a function of three-dimensionless parameters such as bearing characteristic number, that is Zn by P, Zn by P. Z is absolute viscosity and N is RPS and P is pressure, and R by C is radial is reciprocal of radial clearance ratio, and R by C. R is radius of the journal and C is the clearance, radial clearance, and L by D, that is length of the bearing divided by diameter of the bearing. So these are the three important terms here. So in that we have to consider, this is the first term which is considered for the discussion here. Say a graph which is plotted here. So along the abscissa, bearing characteristic number, which is represented by Zn by P. Z is absolute viscosity, N is RPM, and P is pressure. And this along coordinate, the coefficient of friction is plotted. Initially, with the high coefficient of friction, the bearing characteristic number is very less. As the bearing characteristic number, which is a dimensionless number here, as it increases, the coefficient of friction that decreases. So at a particular point, what happens, the film thickness, which is called as thin film lubrication, or the film which is formed here is thin film lubrication, thin oil film. And with respect to the next case, say after achieving the value of C, that is the bearing characteristic number, the thick film formation that takes place. When the bearing operates near the value of C, the slight increase in pressure or decrease in speed that is accompanied in an increase in friction, so that friction coefficient of friction that increases. To prevent such conditions, bearing should be operate at a value of Zn by P at least three times the minimum value of C. So the Zn by P, if it is greater than the value of C, then the bearing operates with a complete film lubrication. So that's why the value of C that should be selected here as greater than C, or Zn by P should be more than C. So to form the proper film lubrication. So this is related to the uh, significance of the bearing characteristic number. So the next important term is important thing is the derivation of bearing Petrov's equation, or that is coefficient of friction equation, which is also called as Petrov's equation here. So Petrov's equation, there are two equations that are related to the COF, coefficient of friction. One is Petrov's equation, another one is Mackey's coefficient of friction. So by using a Petrov's equation, so there are some of the equation or based upon the Petrov's theory. What is the Petrov's theory said? So according to Petrov's theory or a statement of Petrov's theory, that the bearing which is having or loaded with a very light load having high viscosity, and the journal is rotating with a very high speed, and the bearing and the journal both are concentric. So these, with this particular theory, say there are some assumptions that we have to consider, because in actual practical case that is not possible to have a very light load on the or no load on the bearing, and journal is rotating at high speed, as well as viscosity is also at infinite level or very high. So this is what impractical. So to be practical, there are some assumptions that we have to consider here. Say the shaft which is rotating in the bearing. So suppose if I take the earlier example itself, say this is the bearing which is a stationary member having a diameter of capital D, and another one is the shaft which is rotating inside of it, and both are concentric as per the assumption made with respect to the derivation of Petrov's. So there are some assumptions that we have to consider here. Say it carries a very light load. As per the Petrov's theory, there is no load at all. But in actual practical case, there is a small amount of load that is acting on the bearing, which is called as a radial load here. And the clearance C is completely filled with the oil. That means this particular gap is completely filled with the oil or the lubricant, and end leakage is completely negligible. There is no side leakage, and oil used is very with a very high viscosity. See, if the viscosity is very high, means the thicker film is formed, so that there is no relative motion is possible. So that's why the moderate amount of viscosity is to be used here of the liquid. That should not be infinite, or that should not be very low. And the journal is revolves or rotating inside the bearing with a high speed, and the journal and bearing are concentric at all time. So the both the centers, they are concentric. So the same sketch that is represented here in the front view. So the next case, there are some notations that also we have to consider. Say capital D and small d are the diameter of the bearing and the journal, and n is the speed of the shaft in RPM, and the small n is n divided by 60, that is RPM by 60, that is nothing but RPS, and V is the velocity of the journal, and which is calculated as pi d into small n. Small n is RPS, so that meter per second the velocity that we get. Area, surface area is pi into d into L, surface area of the journal. Pi d is the circumference, and L is the length of the bearing. And the bearing pressure P is given by W divided by LD. W is load acting or radial load acting on the bearing. So where is it? It is deleted. So W is the radial load perpendicular to the axis of the shaft, and L into D is the area. Uh, that is in Newton per meter square. And shear stress of the lubricant is, or in the lubricant, is given by tau is equal to F by A. So this is what the some of the notations. So also the equation for shear stress. So shear stress is also given by the equation, say by using the fundamental definition of absolute viscosity. Say absolute viscosity is given by rate of shear stress divided by rate of shear strain, or rate of shear strain, or the velocity gradient, that is V by sorry, H by V, H by V. So the absolute viscosity definition is given by rate of shear stress divided by rate of uh, velocity gradient, or U by H, or V by H, sorry, V by H. So suppose if I write the expression for tau, so tau is equal to Z into V divided by H, the same equation that is written here. So therefore Z is equal to tau into H. So H is the denominator of denominator can be taken to the numerator. So tau H divided by V. So this is the expression for viscosity. So viscosity is written in terms of shear stress here, but shear stress which is F by A, earlier it is written. So Z is equal to F by A into H by V, velocity V. H is the thickness of the oil film, which is equal to C here. That is what called as radial clearance. That is capital R minus small r, radius of the bearing minus radius of the journal. And tau is F by A. And also we have the expression for A as surface area of the journal, which is written as pi into d into L. And also we have the expression for velocity, which is earlier itself it is mentioned as pi into d into small n, and h is equal to c. So by substituting all the values a, v and h in the equation 1, so equation 1 is what? Z is equal to f into h divided by av. So if I substitute the expansion of a, expansion of v and expansion of h here, so f into c is nothing but h is c here, divided by a is pi dl into velocity v equal to pi dn. So after that what I get? Fc divided by pi square d into l divided by 2r n. So that z is equal to f into c divided by 2 pi square into d into l into rn. So after simplification what I get? F divided by 2 pi square into d into n into l, and c by r they are written separately. So say this as equation number 2. And with respect to the fundamental definitions, say the coefficient of friction is defined as the ratio of frictional force at the journal surface divided by the load acting on the bearing. So which is written in the form of a statement here: ratio of force of friction at the journal surface divided by load acting on the bearing. So for F is equal to force of friction is given by small f into W, cross multiplication. So F is given by F into W, coefficient of friction multiplied by the normal load. So that the equation 2 which carries in the numerator capital F, that is replaced by small f into W. Small f is COF, coefficient of friction, and W is the load acting on the bearing. So Z is given by Z is equal to F into W, coefficient of friction multiplied by the normal load, divided by 2 pi square into D into N into L, equal into C by R. So this equation which is rewritten here as F into W divided by 2 pi square into D into L into N divided by C by R. So if I write, or there is another equation, that is pressure P is given by W divided by L into D. So if this particular ratio W by DL or W by L into D, if it is replaced by a term which is called as pressure P, so the equation of Z is modified and written like this: F into P, that is W by DL, is replaced by P into C by R divided by 2 pi square into N. So if I, as we want to derive the equation for coefficient of friction for lightly loaded bearing, as lightly loaded Petrov's theory, that is holds good for lightly loaded bearings only, lightly loaded journal bearing. So F is equal to coefficient of friction is equal to cross multiply this equation. So that what you get, 2 pi square multiplied by Z into N into divided by P, which is called as a bearing characteristic number denoted by capital C, and into R by C. R by C. So as we have earlier discussed the terminology, the radial clearance ratio is given by C by R. So here it is written as R by C, that is the reciprocal of that. So the equation which is written here as F2 pi square into Zn divided by P into R by C. So here in this equation, P is in Newton per meter square, Z is in Pascal second or Newton second per meter square, R and C are in mm. Suppose if as we are using the pressure value in terms of megapascal or Newton per mm square, so the conversion factor is to be used here as 10 raised to minus 6. So F is equal to 2 pi square into 10 raised to minus 6 into Zn divided by P into R by C. So 10 raised to minus 6 here is used to convert the pressure P to from Newton per meter square to Newton per mm square. So or the value which is to be substituted as here the value of P is in Newton per mm square. So that value of F that we get here, and this is available in data handbook equation number 15.4a, page number 353. So this is about the Petrov's equation. So in the next session, I will take the design procedure of journal bearing. Thank you.